All right, some of you are already on it, but if this is your first time with us today, what we love to do is rename ourselves. So we put our name, whatever we like to be called, and the city where you live, so we get to see where everyone is calling in from. And you rename yourself by hovering your cursor, your little mouse, over your own image. When you do that, you'll see an ellipsis show up in the right top hand corner of your own image, and you'll click on it. You'll look for rename. You click on that, and then you can put whatever you like to be called and where you live. So I am in Santa Fe. Excellent. We've got a larger crowd today. How very exciting. Lovely. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off since we're 3 minutes past the top of the hour. If you are new today, I can only see one set of images. Can you just wave your hand like this if you happen to be new? Lovely. Okay, welcome. Yeah. So my name is Shannon Elliott, and I am the manager of our InSync network here at PMD Alliance. And our InSync network is all about support group leaders and support groups. So this is our time, our roundtables that we hold monthly. This is our chance for support group leaders to come together. And this is like our support group for support group leaders. So sometimes we have content, we have a topic that we like to talk with you about. And we go into breakout rooms a lot of times so that we can dive into deeper discussion. Today is going to be a little bit of a different format. We've decided to keep it very much an open format today. We just wanted you to have a chance to come together and bring your burning issues. If you have any questions for your colleagues, those people across the country, and even other nations we have people joining us from, you can ask them those questions and get ideas on any issues that you might be facing as support group leaders. So I want to make sure you know who our staff who are joining us today. So we've got Rachel in Phoenix. If you want to say hi, Rachel.
Hi, everybody. So happy to see you all today. I am Rachel Steinberg. I'm the Community Network Manager here at PMD Alliance. And I'm so lucky to be partnering up with Shannon to bring InSync support group leader trainings throughout the country. And we're really excited about this month's roundtable because it's a real opportunity for you guys, support group leaders, to share information with each other. And so very much looking forward to today's program. And I'm glad to be here. And Kelly is here doing our tech guru background, breaking us up into breakout rooms and doing all the back end. So you want to say hi, Kelly?
Hello, everybody. I am. I feel like breakout rooms is kind of my thing here at InSync meetings. So yeah, it's fun and it's a little bit different than what I do on the other daily programs. So I am the online programs manager here at PMD Alliance, and I tend to be on a lot of the live streams to help with tech and things kind of in the background. Yeah, good job. Got to mute.
I got it.
So it's nice to be here with you all on a Monday morning. It's almost afternoon for me.
That's right. All right. Thank you, Kelly. And then Ashley, I'm not sure. I know your video is off right now. I don't know if you wanted to say hi.
Just I was multitasking for a moment. Hi, everyone. I'm just here to listen and enjoy all of your feedback and insights.
Excellent. Thanks for coming, Ashley. If you happen to miss our program from last week, Ashley led a wonderful workshop called I Am, and it's the I Am poem project that we're doing. We have that recorded. So if you happen to miss it, go ahead and let us know, or maybe Kelly or Rachel, you can find the link to that and put that in the chat so you can find the recording of that I Am workshop. Okay, so without further ado, unless anybody has any questions off the top, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I just have a couple of little things I wanted to share with you as we get started today. Okay, so just let me know if you're seeing that. Okay, I see a thumbs up from Lauren, thank you. Excellent. So again, welcome to our March Roundtable for support group leaders. I wanted to just share with you our upcoming in-person workshop schedule. So I have a working title. I am very much in the midst of creating the new curriculum for our in-person workshops this year. Very excited. We haven't done them in person in 2 years. So I am super excited. Rachel and I will be in Phoenix in April. And then we do have a couple of other definite cities planned. So we've got Pittsburgh happening May 19th and 20th, and Nashville in late June, the 20th or 29th and 30th. So it is a 2-day workshop for support group leaders. We offer a free hotel room for anyone who decides to come on the first night of the workshop. So just wanting to spread the word about this. And if you're in any of these regions, please consider coming to join us. And we will be going to different parts of the country. We just haven't made all of those dates securely yet. So we will be announcing those along the way. Okay, and yes, the working title here, Navigating Uncharted Territory. Maybe we can all relate to that. And it's our quest as human beings, as support group leaders, to find joy, meaning, and connection in an ever-changing world. So it's, for ourselves, but also how do we bring this to our support group members who rely on us, right? Okay, so the collaboration agreements. So this is how I start off every one of our roundtables, and these are the expectations of all of us as we participate in this roundtable together. It's just how we want to interact to make sure that we're being respectful and productive. So muting your mic when necessary. Looks like everybody's doing a great job on that. We do encourage participation though. So if you want to share and speak up, just go ahead, wave your hand. We love to hear from you, unmute yourself, and feel free to participate. Secondly, we have listen deeply. So making sure that we really are listening to one another in our breakout rooms and hearing folks. That's just important, as we know, as support group leaders. Yes, and so that is borrowing from the improv world. So it's building on other people's ideas. We have moving with intention. We do have longer breakout room times today. We're actually going to be breaking out for about 45 minutes. So that's going to be a record. But every time we have these support group roundtables, we always hear, oh, we never have enough time to talk. So we're going to give it to you today. And hopefully that's going to feel really good. And you have plenty of time to share with one another. And then lastly, to please be patient with technology. As we know, things go awry. We will try to help anyone who has issues. Kelly is great with those tech problems. And so you can always message her privately in the chat if you have any issues. Speaking of the chat, I see that some things are happening. Just let me know if I'm missing anything, Rachel and Kelly, in the chat. As we know, it's hard to multitask when you have several windows open on your screen at the same time. So I always ask for help from my co-facilitators here.
The question came up about the 2-day workshop. If somebody can only attend one day, how would that work?
Well,
I know our agenda is pretty packed, with full information.
I'm not sure. So who was that? Oh, okay. So
the
it
duet
was
folks in Phoenix.
Okay, so ideally, well, I can tell you, Janet, it's a 2-day workshop. It's not all day, both days. So the first day is usually probably always 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. with followed by a reception. So some time for real socialization afterward. So it's really just kind of the half day. And then day 2, we start at 9 a.m. and go to about 2 p.m. We would love for participation the whole time. I wouldn't want to turn you away, but the content builds on itself. And so if you miss day one, you might be lost coming in day two. And then, the other way around, it would just be unfortunate that you couldn't finish up the content from day two. So just want to encourage as much as possible full participation. Okay, anything else? Roger, he's asking about the Washington, DC event. Yes, so we do have a community and support group leader summit that we're calling All In, and that will take place in Washington, DC, October 22nd through 25th. So this is going to be a huge event. Really looking forward to that. We will be finalizing details about that in the coming weeks, and we will be letting our support group leader network know about those details as they become available. So hopefully you can set that time aside rather in your calendar to attend with us. Anything else that I'm missing? Okay, I think I'm just going to keep on moving because I want to give you your 45 minutes in the breakout room. So just to get everybody participating today, I am so excited about spring. I live in Santa Fe. So last week we had 4 inches of snow overnight. And so over the weekend we got up to 70 degrees. So I'm so excited about that. And I wondered what it is that you do personally to celebrate spring, or maybe the changing of the seasons. Do you have any ritual activities that you like to do? Something that just allows you to really be present with the changing of the seasons? Or if you don't have anything that you necessarily celebrate as far as spring, just what is your favorite aspect? And then go ahead and find the chat box and let us know what you do for spring. So for me, let's see, my favorite thing is hearing the birds chirping when I wake up in the morning. Planting seeds. Oh, wonderful. Yes. So Martha, is it just flowers or do you have vegetables? Planting. Yep. Getting outdoors, walking, the sense
Purchase of Flonase.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just complaining to Rachel and Kelly this morning. I did some yard work yesterday and I woke up just with extra things happening in my sinuses. So yes, I definitely feel you on that.
We are starting.
Oh, rivers, warm up for paddling. Okay, I love that. So the outdoor activities, hiking, getting in the water. Yeah, can't bike right now, Dawn. Okay, well, maybe soon. Someone's in Minnesota, Camille, putting the winter boots away. Yes. Yeah. Does anyone switch out your wardrobe from your sweaters to the short sleeves and the lighter clothing? Walking in the park. I love that. Yes. Spring fever. Yeah. Skis away. So the winter sports into the spring and summer activities. Lovely. Good, good. Well, I hope that you're all as excited about spring as I am. I've just got this extra energy flowing. So great. And so again, I always say this, but as we work through our roundtable, we have our trainings together. A lot of times I am modeling activities, things that you can be doing with your support group members, whether you're meeting with them on Zoom or in person, just those warm-up activities to get people involved and make sure that they're participating off the bat. So they're not just sitting back and observing, they're actually participating. Okay, everyone. I am going to keep on moving here. So the breakout rooms, like I said, we're going to be there a longer time today, about 45 minutes. I want it to be very much an open forum, but I know sometimes it helps to have a little bit of a prompt, something to think about as you get into the room, and you can discuss this. You don't have to. It could be just a way to jumpstart your conversation. So this is a concept that we are exploring in some of our in-person events that PMD Alliance is facilitating this year. So this idea of something that we wish that people knew about living with Parkinson's, whether you have a movement disorder or whether you're a care partner or an adult child, or if you're a support group leader, what is it that you feel like you wish other people knew about living with a movement disorder? Okay, so this is something that, it's just a different way to look at things. And it just, even if we, can educate folks along the way, it does go a long way. And if we can get that word out in our communities and in our friend circles and our family circles, just to have them understand a little bit more of what it's like to be in your shoes. Okay, so again, this is something you can use to start off your discussion, but you don't have to. We will be coming back after the 45-minute breakout room, and we'll just be doing some informal share backs. So if you do decide to designate a note taker in your small group, that one person can come back and share main insights, or anybody can just raise their hand and we can just hear from individuals more informally. Okay, does that sound good to everybody? If I could get the thermometer, either thumbs up, or I'm not really sure what's happening, or I really don't understand. Okay, so I see good thumbs up. That's wonderful. Excellent. Okay, so we are going to put 6 to 7-ish people in each room. We have found that 4 to 5 folks in a room is a really good number for discussion, and everyone participates. Sometimes during our roundtables like this on Zoom, people have to multitask and they have turned off their screen. And so sometimes they can't participate 100%. And so that's why we put a few more folks in each room, just to make sure that you have enough people in there so that there's enough energy flowing and enough sharing around the room. Okay. Yes, Roger wishes he'd started exercising earlier. Yeah, yep, exactly. So that's the I wish. So that's a good example of something that you wish people knew about. Okay, so Ms. Kelly, how are things going on your end with the breakout room?
I am ready when you are.
Okay.
Breakout room shuffle.
The yes, exactly. Breakout room roulette, we like to call it. You don't know who you're gonna be with. It's very exciting. I thought that I would give a little notice to everyone once 30 minutes has gone by. So then we have about 15 minutes left. And then I'll let people know again at about 5 minutes until we're gonna be coming back to the main room. Does that sound pretty good? Okay. All right, everybody. Well, have a great time and enjoy your breakout session. And we will see you on the other side. All right, welcome back, everyone. How did it go? Can I see your thermometer? Was it good? Thumbs up? Yeah. Excellent. I can't wait to hear how that felt to have a much longer breakout session. 45 minutes. Did it feel like that long, or could you have used more time? I'm looking forward to hearing all of your thoughts, insights that you came up with as you brought questions and issues you might be facing as support group leaders. Just want to make sure everybody makes it back before we get started with that. So let's see, I think, and rather than going through each of our breakout rooms, which I think we had about 7 or 8 of them, and instead of going room by room, I'm just going to open up the floor and see if anybody has insights that they want to share with the whole group. Things that may have been surprising to you, something that you learned. I see Judy, you may have said something here. Let me get rid of one of these windows so I can see.
She's just saying who was in their room.
Okay, yeah, so we did have some technical issues and a few people who arrived late. And so we're always learning, even as we continue to have multiple Zoom meetings each week, we still learn new tips and tricks. So keeps us on our toes for sure. All right. Okay, did anybody want to, oh, I see Lauren. We can start with Lauren and go from there.
Well, Dave started right away with saying, is this for what do we want people with Parkinson's to know, or what do we want people without Parkinson's to know, which was a really, really good point, because there's a whole bunch of stuff we want both groups to know.
Good point.
One of the huge themes that we talked about was the need to educate people, both groups, but even just the general public about Parkinson's, because people don't know what it is. They don't understand it. They see someone and they think they're drunk, or they are making comments, and we need somehow to get much more education and awareness out there to the general public.
Great point, Lauren. And then differentiating those who are living with it in some capacity. Those are the people in our ecosystem. And then those who are like what we would call maybe the general public, like you said. So just making sure that other people understand what's happening, and no, I'm not under the influence. No, and then these are ways that you could potentially help, that sort of thing. So thank you for bringing that up. I see Perry has unmuted himself.
We spoke about that and the need for self-advocacy, that you've really got to maybe in a hospital or just to make people understand that it's kind of up to us to educate them, that people just, they don't understand. And I've been in the hospital at least one time where I had something go wrong with me that my medicine on time would have saved everything, but the hospital didn't understand that, or they just don't know. So I know I have a close friend here, Judy. We live about a couple miles from each other, but we've been working on just that, maybe trying to get something together to where if someone is admitted, we can have someone there that has Parkinson's, not as a medical consultant, but someone just to advocate that this person's got to have their medication, or you're going to send them off in a short bus and you didn't need to, so.
That's a big one, Perry. And I see that Martha has also mentioned that in the chat, hospital personnel. So yes, even within the medical field, there's not a lot of education about Parkinson's and the how medications, the consistent schedule, how important that is. I'm sure many of you are aware of the Aware and Care Kit, the Parkinson Foundation kit, which has information and cards that you can hand out to nurses and doctors and people who are going to come in contact with you. That's important, maybe as just an emergency protocol. But I love that you, Perry, and Judy are thinking of new ways in which to educate facilities in your area and to help advocate for the people you love, for your friends who are dealing with issues in the hospital. So this is what we need. We need forward thinking and thinking of new ways to advocate. I see several hands, so we will get around.
Roger. Roger.
Oh, no, not me.
I will underscore what was just said. I had a stroke in 2019. Went to the ER. The ER chief ended up sending me back home. I was finally diagnosed 8 days after the stroke. They said you had a stroke, and this was the top doctor in ER. He thought it was Parkinson's. My wife's a nurse, and both of us said no, it's not. So I got sent home on day 2 after stroke, and then when I got to the hospital for my MRI, they weren't aware of the procedure with DBS. So I actually had my stroke in a hospital at a Gideon's meeting. I could have walked down the hall and got the clotbuster the very evening that I had it, but I was diagnosed 8 days later.
That's tragic, Roger. I'm so sorry to hear that. And
It all comes back to education. And PMDA is doing wonderful, as you hear me as much as I can, but there's still a lot more that needs to be done. So I wish everybody at PMDA would live to be 105.
yes, there's always more to do. Thank you for sharing that story and just how impactful something like that can be. And unfortunately, it's not a unique story. I think that, this happens to many people. And yes, continuing to educate and to think of new ways to get the word out. We have a few programs that we offer at PMD Alliance, the CPDC, which is the Certified Parkinson's Disease Care. So we are helping to educate people in facilities, those who are working in facilities, to understand more about the disease. And then ATMRD, and I'm not going to do a good job at knowing what that acronym stands for, but we are helping to educate advanced practice providers in Parkinson's and movement disorder specific information. And that's a big conference we're holding in June. So we are trying to get more education out to our entire ecosystem, including the
Medical network.
in the medical network. Thank you for putting that in the chat, Ashley. That helps me a lot. So I see a few hands. I'm going to start with Joe, and then we'll go to Ron after Joe.
Well, another thing would be what you want to say to people that have just been diagnosed. And the thing I learned is how valuable it is to belong to a support group. We're kind of tuning our own horn here, but it really is very important, because you'll learn more about the disease from the people in the support group than you will from any number of doctors. You got me, buddy. Right, Roger? Because doctors understand what they've read and all that kind of stuff, but they're not living it. And the people with the disease, we're living it, and we can be good information for people going forward. So that's the thing I would say for people newly diagnosed, is find yourself a support group.
Absolutely. Well said, Joe. And I think you're preaching to the choir here because we are mostly here
exactly
as support group leaders or people who are interested in starting a support group. So yes, we know this firsthand, how important it is to be in community with one another. We learn more from each other than we do from the doctors a lot of times. I hear this again and again. Rachel, I saw your little cartoon hand go up, and then I do want to get to Ron. So did you have something to—
That was, I meant to put another thing. I put the 100% because Joe's so right about support groups and the importance and what people gain from their cohorts, their friends, all of the knowledge and information that gets passed through the support groups is invaluable. It really is.
And you see a lot of that, Rachel, in being involved in 3 of our online support groups that we have at PMD Alliance. So thank you for that. I'm going to go to Ron Ream now.
Hey, everybody. I just wanted to comment about the Aware and Care Kit. Sharon and I, my wife and I, are 6 years in now, and we were part of another group, a larger group that when we'd meet. Typically, we'd have about 80 people at a meeting. So we started another group, and we got about 30 people that show up at our meetings. One of the things that we did when we learned about the Aware and Care Kit, we asked this question: how many people in our meeting, there were 80 people there, how many people had difficulty getting Parkinson's diagnosis? Every single hand went up. Every single hand went up. And so we said, now, does that give you confidence in the medical community as far as treating you if you come in for something other than Parkinson's, if you come in for an emergency? No, it doesn't. You have to be your own advocate. And so the importance of the Aware and Care Kit is that little tablet where you pull off a sheet from the tablet and you give it to your care nurse, whoever it is. And it says on there what to do and what not to do with people with Parkinson's. There are medications on there that people with Parkinson's should not take. I can't even pronounce them. So without the kit, I can't tell a medical professional, don't give this to my wife. I can't say that. But if I give him that little sheet, say, please read this and please don't give her any of those medications. We have story after story of people that have gone into the hospital, and immediately it is a battle to get the medications on time, to do what we're supposed to be doing. It's a battle. So one of the things that we require in our support group meeting is we require everybody that comes to support group meeting to bring their Aware and Care Kit. And the reason is we don't want it sitting in the closet. Once we get it, we want it to be an active part of our life. We want to take it with us when we go out. If we get in the car, we could be in an automobile accident. Then there we are at the hospital, and they're going, okay, this is what we're going to do. And if they give you the wrong thing, we had one of our members that went into the hospital after an accident, but because he was alone, there was no advocate with him to tell them. And as a result, they gave him the wrong stuff. When I went to see him in the hospital, mercy, he was on the edge of leaving this life because they gave him the wrong thing. Those kits are so important. They really are important. So at every meeting, we say, okay, let's show our kits. If we do a Zoom meeting, we have everybody hold their kit up at the Zoom meeting. We want to know they're being used. They can't end up they don't do you any good if it's in a closet somewhere. If it's in a corner someplace, they got to be used. We have one in the car, both cars. So when we go someplace, we're prepared, as prepared as we can be. But
Thank you for underscoring that.
Yeah, I wanted to make that point. But another point is about, when Sharon got diagnosed, they said, this is what the doctor says, 3 things you got to do. You got to take your medications on time. You got to get involved in rock steady boxing, and you got to get in a support group. Big deal getting into a support group. I started going right away. She was already working. She was still working, and she couldn't come to the meetings. So I went. And the people that she was rock steady boxing with said, oh, you got to get to the meeting. You got to get to the meeting. So finally, she went to a meeting. And after the meeting, this guy that had been working out with her at rock steady runs up to her with a big smile on his face and said, what'd you think? She said, I don't think you want to know. And he said, well, tell me. And she said, I don't think I want to be here. And he got this big smile on his face and he goes, I know exactly what you mean. The first meeting I went to, I couldn't get away from there fast enough. And I drove away at a high speed. And that night when I was sitting on my bed, I said, you know what? That's the place where I need to be, because those people understand me. And he hasn't missed a meeting since.
Thank you for those points, Ron. All great. So underscoring wearing care kits and the need for exercise, the need for on-time medication, and then being in a support group, even if things are hard to hear. We know that in the end, you're going to have so much value in that experience. And so thank you for those thoughts there. I see a couple of more hands that I want to make sure to get to. So let's see here. It looks like we lost someone. Oh wait. So it's someone who has the name Joanne, but I don't believe your name is Joanne. Yes. So if you can unmute yourself, and then we can hear from you, and then we'll hear from Diane. Oh, okay. No. Okay. Got it. Okay. So let's hear from whoever is named Joanne here. I'm going to ask to unmute to help you with that.
There you go.
My name is Alex.
Hi, Alex.
I had problems with the computer, so my wife said I'm on her computer.
No problem.
My name is Joanne on the screen. In talking about going to the hospital, it's so important to take your own meds and have your advocate, if you have one, the meds in their original bottles, and type up a sheet that says what you take and when you take it. And on time for Parkinson's meds, it's within 10 minutes of the hour. So nurses are used to giving out medicines an hour late, an hour early. Most meds, it doesn't matter. But Parkinson's meds, they have to be taken on time. And people can get in a real fight with the hospital management administration and say, if they have the care package from the PDF, Parkinson's Disease Foundation, it has letters explaining that you should take these meds on time. And let me give my husband the original medicine in the original bottle and current batches so that you're in control.
Yes. Thank you for that, Alex. So this seems to be the theme of the day, how important it is to make sure that those medical folks, the network, everyone who comes into contact with us, that they know the importance of accuracy, the timing, things like that, and to do everything in your own power to advocate for yourself and for your loved ones. So thank you again for that. And then I've got two more hands I want to get to. We're over just a minute already, but we're going to make sure and get to you too. Anna Maria first, and then Camille.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Yes, in our group, we share some similarities, in relation to the question that you posed about what we wish that people knew about living with Parkinson's. The first thing is that we wish that people understand that Parkinson's demands constant adaptation. So, because we sometimes share this question, no? So how are you doing? Is he better? Is she better? Is she doing better? Is he doing better? So it's in good faith, but so the first thing is that we share that, and we also share that participants share in our groups that what they found most valuable is the human exchange, and that human exchange is what makes people show up in the next session. So it's a good thing to have these breakout groups a little bit longer, I guess. And but it's good. So I would also like to share the differences in our group, not only the similarities. For example, Randy said that looking good doesn't mean that I feel good. I would like people would realize that when not because I look good, I feel good. Frank said about her wife that he would like to know the adjustments and changes to her partner, constant change, and the gender bias there is around, because he's the care partner. And Paul also talked about how, due to the COVID situation, the number of participants decrease, and it's been hard for him to handle the position because so many people have to go to nursery homes, to transition homes, because they can't handle it for themselves anymore, which is very, sorry, he feels very sorry for that. And Janet from Duet, who was in our group, she also stressed the idea of the human contact and the all traditional phone calls. The thing is, if people don't have the iPhone and cannot handle the Zoom meeting because they don't know how to pick up, but we have to combine the old tools and the new tools.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Ana Maria. Always profound insights from you. What I really love is the human connection piece. And that's what we get through support groups. And hopefully, yes, having a little bit longer of a breakout room session today, you were able to accomplish that here. So we need to provide that for our support group members as well, and just make sure that we remember we're not just the disease, right? We're human beings with multiple levels and depth. And so how can we connect on many of those other levels? Let's see here. So I'm trying to keep track of the chat all at the same time. I want to get to Camille. If you're able to unmute yourself, Camille. Try that one more time. There you go.
I'm here. Yep. I just wanted to bring up that it was talked about how do we get people educated on this. And my husband is the one that has had Parkinson's for 15 years. He's now 60 years old. And what I have been doing for about the last 5 years is during the month of April, when it's National Parkinson's Awareness Month, I send out basically a letter, a little update on how my husband is and what's been going on. And I always give a little learning bite in there about Parkinson's. And I send it out like a Christmas list, all the people that you send Christmas cards to, that's who I send this to. And I send it to everyone in the month of April. And I have received a lot of favorable feedback from people saying, thanks so much for that. I did not know that, or I didn't know that about Kurt, and that's what happens. Or, I've received a lot of good feedback, and it's my little way of trying to reach out to people and do some education regarding Parkinson's, whether it's him getting DBS and what that all entailed, the medications, how sometimes they work some days and sometimes they don't, how sometimes some people have tremors and what they don't, or what some of the non-motor symptoms may be. I mean, these are just some of the things. I'll just take one of those and just give a little 2-3 sentence tidbit about it, so that they have something that they walked away with, or after they've read the letter, they've learned something. And yeah, I just wanted to give that as a suggestion. It's a great way to do it because you can say it's National Parkinson's Awareness Month. Just want to tell you about that. The other thing is, one little piece is that a lot of times family members don't always want to ask the person with Parkinson's how they're doing. They always want to seem to ask the wife or the spouse, oh, how is Kurt doing? Or how's he doing with his Parkinson's? Well, you know what? You can talk to him about it if you want, but this is a way for people to, if they don't want to really ask, but yet they want to know, you can kind of let them know, and these are people that maybe you don't see all the time, so they don't know a lot about Parkinson's, and so they don't know how that person is doing. So that's just my little suggestion. That's all. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. That's such a great suggestion. And it touches on what Ana Maria was saying, just to people don't understand, that it's a progressive disease. And, Ana Maria said, okay, is he better? Is she better? And it's like, well, okay, it's very complicated. It's intricate, and things can go up and down. And so, Camille, you're talking about educating your immediate circle of friends and family, and, that can exponentially, people can educate others. And so it starting from somewhere, and it's that personal level. So I think that's beautiful, and thank you for that. And that it's Parkinson Awareness Month, and in April, that could be an instigation for folks to do that in their own circles. So I think that's all wonderful, a way to educate people. And seemingly, you know, your close knit circles, but then it amps out from there. It can ripple effect. So we are running over time. I see that some people have shared their contact information in the chat. Feel free to save your chat or to copy and paste if you're interested to be in touch with one another. And then I see one more person. Alex wants to say one more thing before we say goodbye. If you'd like to unmute yourself. Let's see, I'm going to ask to unmute so you can click that button on your screen. I can't quite hear you yet. Try that one more time, Alex. And as we're finding that unmute button, I'm just going to take the opportunity to let you know that we'll have our next roundtable April 25th, which is a Monday, 9 a.m. to 10:30 Pacific time. So same time, same place, new link, of course, but I just wanted to take a moment, if you can put it in the chat if you'd like. Do you enjoy this open discussion? Do you like to flip-flop, having some content, learning something new, and then every other time? I'm just curious if you really need more time with one another, and we can definitely give you that time and space. So just think about that and put it in the chat. Alex, looks like you've unmuted.
Yeah, just on your letter that you write to your family and friends, you can add an opportunity to raise money for research towards a cure. And I dream of the day when I can hear my daughter say, I remember when you had Parkinson's. That because you have a list of people who care, give them the opportunity to donate on your behalf. Set up a donation team for one of the major charities, Michael J. Fox Foundation, or Parkinson's Awareness Alliance, whichever you like, and include that in your letter, and you will definitely get people the opportunity to donate where they might not otherwise.
Sure, and it's another opportunity for them to learn more about the disease and about what's happening, ways that they can help, because each of the nonprofits, as you might have learned, we all do something quite different. So we're more about education and community, and Michael J. Fox is research, so each organization focuses on something different. So that's a good point there, Alex, to include those links in your informational emails or letters that go out. And let's see. Okay, I'm just seeing some responses here. Anything else before we wrap up? Rachel, was there anything I missed? I couldn't keep track of the chat.
No, I think people are liking this format. So, it's good to have this every once in a while where people get to just chat with each other.
Absolutely. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here and for staying about 10 minutes over today. And so nice to see you all, and looking forward to the next roundtable on April 25th. Please keep in mind our in-person workshops that we're holding around the country, and we will let you know as we add more dates in more cities. Just love to see you in person and maybe give you a hug. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, everyone. Well, thank you again for coming, and we will see you hopefully very soon on one of our other programs.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so
Take
much.
care.
Take care.